Welcome to the Nerds Against Normality podcast. I'm Stacey Bowles and I'm using my high tech to bring you this groundbreaking podcast. And I'm here with Harry Bowles, who's collecting games at the speed of sound.
Got a pod fast.
And
nice.
You're very good. And Ben Sheridan, who's gone fishing.
I just love Vic the Cat so much.
So Ben, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
We've got a little New Year present for you to start.
Have you?
To start off.
I like this.
So I'm just going to share my screen and show you a little video.
Okay.
Still rolling, still rolling. Still rolling, still rolling. Did you know that Ben is so poor
Fuck's
that
sake.
every night time he goes to the Waitrose car park and he looks in the trolleys to see if there's any £3 going?
Oh, for God's
Did you know that Ben actually shaves his stepdad's back just so he can get all the hair sticking to his face? Just so it's
beard.
Did you know that Ben's so lonely that he sends birthday cards with a post to himself just so that on the big day he feels important?
Do you have nothing better to do, either of you?
You may not know this, but Ben actually broke his vow to never get a tattoo on his body because he loves Drake so much that he had to get his face
Tattooed on his
Just so
chest.
he can kiss him goodnight.
Yeah. Yeah. The video is, I mean, you'll see the socials in a minute. The video is just them staring at me at the moment.
Any reactions, Ben?
Yeah. I've now got to bring my plan forward.
Okay.
I have heard every single one of them. Every single one.
When?
From the start. The very Also, I had to be Drake, given what's going on with him right tattoo of a nonce. Alleged nonce.
Alleged.
On my
Alleged tattoo. Harry, would you care to explain for the listeners?
Well,
I think it's pretty bloody clear, isn't it?
so we have been clipping that onto the end of every episode for, I'm going to say 8 weeks, roughly.
Yeah, roughly.
There's about 8 clips there. And there's a little bit of us in there. There's a little bit of Taskmaster in there. Some of how Greg puts down Alex.
Little Alex.
Yeah.
So what did you think when you first heard it?
I thought it was really funny, but it wouldn't continue.
You'd be pleased to know that we have cut it now.
I have really admired the commitment to the bit. I've really admired it.
Were you surprised when you heard it?
Do you know what's so funny? Because my favourite one is the parking space one, and I was in a Sainsbury's car park, and I'd actually parked quite close. And I was like,
Could just.
Because do you remember I said it on the one after, I can't remember, maybe 2 episodes after that, I said on the podcast, because we were reviewing DBZ, and I said, I don't remember if I put it on the podcast, but I said to both of you, oh, it's so funny, I saw someone who had DBZ on their car, because I parked really close, and I was trying to see if I was going to get a reaction from both of you, I thought one of you would laugh, and be like, did you? And I was like, you dickheads.
I'm going to go back and re-listen to that now.
Indeed. So you've done your own little secret war.
Little gag.
And unfortunately, so have I.
Oh no!
Uno
If
reverse.
you go through some of the social media clips,
Yeah.
frame by frame, there is some little subliminal messages on them.
These are like Harry died of cancer. Less subliminal, more obvious.
Yeah, it's that one I ranted again for 6 minutes at the camera without stopping. So,
I mean, I'll admit I never watch those. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I do.
Much like you claim I never listened to the podcast episodes back.
Not all the way through.
I listen to it all, because I enjoy the thing we do. Because I think that's quite nice hanging out with my friends.
Who would never betray.
Who would never betray me. Or maybe it's a hot... 2024 has been a terrible year.
Well, we're now in 2025.
Yeah.
So we're starting a new leaf, but we thought we'd fess up to you and we're not going to do it again.
Okay. Are we going to extend the 4 fingers of friendship and the thumb of thanks?
Fucking what?
Oh, what?
No? Okay, I thought we were going to shake on it and just call it a truce. Before anyone gets hurt.
So, I watched the clips. What clip am I looking at?
I'll have to go back through them, but this is kind of why I was struggling, because I had to... The editing software I use won't let you do a frame. So I've had
Well,
to
you just wanted a clip in it.
it's kind of like a flash thing, and you see it and you miss it, and it's usually during, if I remember right, the one with when we did Dragon Ball. So if you go through the bit where Shenron goes up into the sky, the clip between there's a flash.
Yeah.
That's got wording on it, which I
What's the
can't remember what it was.
word?
I think it was something like podcast host seeking new friends. Please call.
Oh, okay. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, and then I started. There was another one which was about certain facts. I think like one of you who was like tried to stop the Underground Railroad or something like that.
Always.
Yeah, I've got. There were some I was like, this is too far. They haven't gone fully over the barrel yet. I think they know, but they won't think I think they know. So eventually I was like, the only way I can know how is if I just go on the social, if I just do the social media stuff. That's the only way. And also, I kind of want to see how long you two would do it for.
Well, we both agreed we would do it to the new year.
Oh, okay, because the number I was going to go to, I was like, if they get to 52... And it's like, if they've done it...
I wanted to do it indefinitely. She was like, no, it's too mean.
It was not mean.
No, it wasn't.
It's very funny.
It was mean. It was actually quite a lot of work.
I can imagine. I was generally thinking, like, what's the end goal if they get to 52? Because I'm going to have to do something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to have to start planning this from, like, week 40. So I was like, I need to go...
Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine with the Halloween heist.
Yes, exactly like that. I was like, I need to get, like, a skywriter or a blimp or something like that. I need to get...
big.
I need to get a projector and project it onto, like, the Shard or something. What do I do? How do I make this?
Skywriter would be good. Well, Happy New Year, Ben.
Yeah, Happy New Year. I've enjoyed it. It's been fun.
On that note, let's get on with our actual catch-up.
Yeah. Yes. Oh.
Okay, Ben, what you been up to this week?
What have I been up to this week? I watched a few things. I watched Transformers 1. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed that.
The movie?
Yeah, the film.
Do you think it's about time they let that series die?
Well, it depends if it stops printing money.
Yeah, which it does not. I'm going to throw this back at you. I could say the same thing about Pokemon.
Well, we all feel that way after the last
There's
game.
a Pokemon which is a load of keys. I miss the old days.
Does Michael Bay still direct it?
No, he produced this one though, and I think his company had a hand in it. It's so not a Michael Bay thing, and you can tell. Like there's actual story in this one, and heart.
Minimal explosions.
Minimal.
What about lens flare?
Very few. Linkin Park does feature heavily though. I also watched... I'm just about to finish that episode as well. I watched The Listeners on BBC. Have you heard of that?
Nope, not heard of it.
It's a 4-part...
Wait.
He's done it again! Ring the bell. It's a 4-part TV show, so not a long thing. Each episode's an hour, but it's essentially about a woman. It's a UK show as well. A woman starts to hear a humming noise in her ears, and that's kind of the main premise of it. But then she realises other people can also hear this hum. And like different people around the world, and like it might be leading to something, like which people are trying to figure out what it is. Mm-hmm. So it's like, is it like a mental condition? Is it like a physical thing? Or is it like
5G?
5G is mentioned, funny enough.
No.
It's like, we didn't have the hum before the tower went up. I'm like, oh God, no. Like conspiracy theorists. But yeah, and then there's other people who were talking about, like, there's people who are then starting to believe, like, is it like something like a calling? Or like, where is it coming from?
Okay.
Why are suddenly like people hearing this exact same frequency and decibel, and it's starting to sort of spiral down of like, well, no one really knows what's going on. Mm-hmm. And it's quite good. It's shot really well, and Rebecca Hall is in it, who you'll remember from Godzilla v Kong. She's the scientist in that, and I hate that I have to use that one as her thing that everyone knows her for, because she's really talented. But like, that's the big film that she's done, is Godzilla x Kong.
Nice.
I've got one more episode to go, but it's very slow burn though, I would say. It's kind of it's like a horror, but it's like a horror in the smallest sense of the word. I think it's more of a drama. But yeah, I would really recommend it. I think it's quite good, and it's nice to see the BBC do something quite, a little bit scary for once.
Have you seen MasterChef?
I mean, no, at the moment I haven't. No.
There's been a bit of controversy or something, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Wallace.
I haven't seen a meme about it yet.
No.
That's how I get my news.
You said earlier about the Titanic. Don't know why, but
Went down well.
wait.
No, that's atrocious.
Let's ring the bell again. No, let's leave that one on ice. Rose. Anyway, I was feeling like a bit sort of like down a bit lethargic, so I decided to go to the hospital just to... I went to my GP, they recommended me to the hospital, and I basically was like just low on some things, and they decided that I needed to have an injection.
Did they say, have you tried the world's hottest chip?
That's what caused the humming in their ears to
Yeah.
start with in that division.
Anyway, after she said that and I punched that nurse in the mouth, I then decided to go to a different department.
Better nurse.
A better nurse. And so they said, like, you probably need to have, like, just a like booster injection, happens around the winter. I was like, okay, cool. Don't mind needles, don't mind injections that much. So I'm just rolling up my sleeve, and they went, oh, no, it can't go into the vein. I was like, okay. I was like, where does it go then? So it needs to go into, like, some sort of, like, muscle.
And you were like,
Tissue.
that's fine, because I got tickets to the gun show.
Absolutely right. And they said, where are those tickets? And I said, oh, they will arrive, just not now. Maybe
3
in
to 6 months.
Maybe in a year, and they'll probably be digital and online, and they may not arrive at all. But there will be tickets to that show. So I was like running up the scene. She went, oh no, this has to go into like some sort of muscle tissue, and then apparently the best place to do that is also in your butt. Not in my arse, just to the left
around
of my
your arse.
Yeah, and I said, are you sure? I can go there.
It's my favourite.
Yeah, I should also point out at the time they had a medical student in there as well who was observing and learning, and I learnt a lot too. And he was apparently in year 4, so not year 4 of school.
Yeah, he's just joining up the writing.
Okay, brilliant. And you're doing the injection. So I was like, is it like year 4 of 5? Like you're about to graduate, or is this like year 4 of 10? Which case, please stay away from my arse. As per.
I can't believe that like you didn't question it. Were they just no sir, can you take down your trousers please? And you're like, well, hang on a minute.
Yeah, I said, can you take down your trousers? I went, okay then. And he went, no sir, your trousers, not my trousers. And I was like, what's the difference here? No, they did say beforehand, like, we've got a medical student in who's observing, are you happy for him to be in there? And I was like, yeah, absolutely fine. Thinking, oh, what, he's just going to see my arm? Brilliant. Better one, he saw my arse. Which is annoying because tattooed on it I've got I hate the NHS.
Privatise it now, please.
Fire junior doctors.
Brexit means Brexit.
Yeah, probably. Lucky for you, I love Brexit. Don't clip that up. So yeah, and he was like, okay. And then the nurse who was looking after me said, oh, are you happy to do it? And he said, yeah, absolutely fine. So I'm lying on my front, arse out, massive group of medical students around. No. And then she's like, you've got to relax, because if you tense up, potentially like you could break the needle. And it's like, if it's in there, it's staying in there. She was a laugh.
How hard is your ass?
When he goes to the gym, that's the only muscle he works out.
Yeah, everything else very skinny and frail, but this ass. This is technically a flight risk.
It's because that's where you do most of your talking.
What's really insulting me today? This whole evening, this whole morning has just been like punch and bang. I get it, I deserve it after the last 2 weeks, but there's a limit. I'm really put a limit on this. So I'm lying there and she's like, got to relax. She's like, okay, yeah, I'll like a few deep breaths. I was like, okay, yeah. And then thinking like, just got to relax and it'll be absolutely fine. And then she shouts out of nowhere like, no, not there, nowhere there. So I'm really like, So apparently he was going to inject it into basically the top part of your ass. Listeners at home, if you literally reach behind yourself right now, it's the bit that's nearest your, like, the cleft.
The crack.
The crack. I was going to say the cleft because that's what it is called, actually. All right, I learnt a lot in that room, mostly about how scared I am now of needles. So apparently that bit there is part of the sciatic nerve. And if you hit that, it is like jamming, you're hitting the nerve system. She said he would have been in the ceiling and then hospitalised because he would have just punctured essentially my nervous system and completely disabled it.
You had a good excuse for not turning up to the pod though.
Oh no, I was still turned up. So yeah, I had a horrible, nearly a really bad experience. The nurse was lovely and so was the other guy. He was a very good student, but yeah, almost got hospitalised with a needle in my arse. And I don't know how I'd explain that. How would I have called up work and said, by the way, I am in hospital because I've had an injection into my nervous system. Hello? So yeah, that's pretty much been my week. Just absolute heart-pounding action.
I'm glad you made it out alive.
I did, just about. Stacey, what's your week?
So, I don't want to dig up the past, but we finished The Quarry.
again.
So yeah, on a previous episode, we mentioned that we finished The Quarry, but it was a complete disaster. Most of the characters died. I think a couple of them were still werewolves.
It's really hard nowadays to like lose at a game and have it game over. You've got to game over.
There is no winning or losing in this game.
Yeah, well, for the people who were involved in it, I think there was.
Are you calling us losers?
No, I'm calling them...
It's not very nice.
Oh, I hate this place.
Yeah, so we replayed it to see if we could get a different outcome. And this time, I think we saved all bar one.
Because obviously, I'm assuming you're playing... Some events sequences stay the same. Like, I assume there are points that at some point the same person is going to get chased by the same werewolf regardless of the situation. Because, like, that's a branching story. So did it help you knowing what was coming to then, like, make different decisions? Or then when you made the new decision, did it just completely spin off into something different that you were like, I don't know how to navigate this new scenario?
We had a few like that because we lost a character quite early on who we saved, and because she was saved, she was then part of the group for the rest of the story, and we were like, okay, what are we doing here?
Okay.
There was only one bit really where we looked up a guide.
Yes, because it was actual puzzling.
Yeah, and you don't get that long to solve it.
No,
and if you don't solve it, you're buggered.
And to be fair, as per usual, I fucked it up. And we thought we were going to lose it. But we got him back. But there were two standout moments that were completely different. As Harry said, the character that died early on survived, so she was in most of the rest of it. And then there was another character towards the end that we made the right decision. And then that...
find the original wolf.
Yeah, that led us to find the original wolf, which we didn't in the first one.
Okay.
That second one was probably the most beneficial to have gone through because it opened up a tiny little bit more of the story. Other than that, it wasn't worth it.
I was about to say, would you... So now that you've done this twice now, is this going to be...
It's done.
Done. No more.
Yeah, I think because there's no epilogue that's worth it. So because we had such a car crash to begin with, right at the end, like a computer screen, old-fashioned TV computer screen flashes up with newspaper report, and they kind of, it's two podcasters almost sort of talking about what happened and these rumours kind of thing. That's the only thing that changes. Okay. There's no epilogue showing you like them all leaving or like talking about who died or something. And I think that would have made the difference.
Okay.
Yeah. I still would very much recommend it. I think it's a very good game. It has some good deaths in it.
Yeah.
The decisions matter as well. It's not one of those games where they give you decisions but they ultimately don't care.
So that was The Quarry. We can bury that one now.
Oh, beep, 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 beep.
We also started watching Severance, which is an Apple TV show.
It certainly is. Directed by Ben Stiller.
Yeah, which we didn't appreciate till we got to the credits.
God, Severance is so fucking good.
So
we haven't finished.
It's one of my favourite TV shows ever.
Yeah, so we've still got a few episodes left to watch, but it's about a company who's so top secret that they ask you to sever yourself. So you have a personal you and a work you, and neither the two shall meet. So your work self doesn't know anything about you, your life, your past, your anything, and you don't know anything about your work self, what you do or anything. So if you're at work, you only exist in that world. Have I summarised that correctly?
Yeah.
But we're really enjoying it. If you haven't watched it, then don't listen to this very quick next bit. But there are some really interesting, horrible moments in it. Particularly, and I can't remember her name, but the woman who tries to kill herself.
The hanging.
Yeah.
You didn't quite get
I didn't quite
what
get
she was doing. Because I was like, when she goes through that door and it opens, she's not going to be getting hung. Outside her is going to be getting hung. She's literally going to be waking up at 5 o'clock.
Terrible way to start your day. But there's a really good bit in that as well where he gets pushed into the lift afterwards.
Yeah.
And then forgets about it. Then when he comes back down, he's then it's like, oh fuck, she was.
Where is she?
Yeah. Oh, it's so.
How awful is her home self to like have gone through that
I can't say anything.
Yeah. And she's just fine with it.
We have just found out who his wife was.
Yeah.
Or is.
The therapist.
Right, okay. Because I was like, because there's like two. I didn't see that coming at all.
No, I didn't.
It feels very kind of Lost-esque in the sense that there's lots of mysteries going on. And there's like a new random one that pops up every episode. So like they found goats in the building.
Yeah.
Why? The saddest moment so far for me, but we haven't seen it play out yet, so no spoilers. But
Walken.
they're going to kill off Bert.
Oh,
because he's retiring, but of course if he retires then work Bert ceases to exist. And they're throwing him a retirement party and it's all weird and horrible.
Also, Christopher Walken is so good in this.
So good.
Actually, they're all good in this. There is not a single bad actor or character in this. And season 2's trailer's just come out.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years. I've been waiting for it for quite a while.
I'm a little bit concerned about it because it's very good. But when you start pulling up so many mysteries, if you don't start answering those mysteries and start answering them properly, that's when you start going into the lost territory, which very much got lost.
I think
its way.
You need a good payout.
I think you two are watching it at a good time because season 2 is not far away. Whereas for someone like me who watched it when it came out, I've been just stewing on. You're not going to get every answer that you want. You'll get some answers, but some will be left for season 2, and I've been stewing on that for years, waiting.
It's really interesting, and we are kind of hooked on finding out what is going on. The aesthetics of the actual workplace is really uncomfortable, I think. It's so sparse and clean and just lab-like, and it's just horrible.
Apparently there's a really good detail on their keyboards, which I love. I love little props details. If when you're watching it next time, look at their keyboard. There's no escape key. Because why would there be?
Nice. And my final thought on it is I just like to mention what a hero Irving is.
Yeah, absolute unit.
He's my absolute favourite because all he does is quote the handbook.
Yeah.
He gets a really good little character arc. He's having a good character arc.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it.
Yes.
More people really need to see Severance because this is one of my favourite shows and I love it.
Well, when we reach the end of season 1, at least, we'll be able to kind of theorise about what we think is going on.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what you think is going to happen next.
And the final thing that I've been up to, and I think on the previous catch-up I've said that I reached the end of my murdering phase.
Oh, great. Which
The
one?
murdering phase.
My murdering phase,
You mean watching the murdering phase?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So
Yeah.
It was my mum's birthday. Happy birthday, Mum.
Okay, what's the segue here?
We ended up going to a serial killer museum in London.
Which one?
I'm going to let that hang.
Christ.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
It was in the vaults in London, which is not far from Waterloo. And it's a really good setting because it's in an underground tunnel where you've got trains running overhead and it's really eerie and creepy and horrible.
Okay.
And it had all your favourites there. It had...
All your favourites?
All your favourites. Bundy was there.
He's my favourite.
Yeah.
I'm obviously just jesting for
obviously.
the purpose of this.
Everyone says that.
It actually had a really interesting, a few interesting things in there. I'll just give you the highlights.
Yeah, please.
The very first thing in there was a little bit about Jack the Ripper, and they had the original Jack the Ripper letters in there, which was really interesting.
Okay, I would find that interesting, to be fair. That's more because that's from a historical point of view. Well, it happened in 1888. Guess what company had just been formed in 1888?
Nintendo.
Thank you very much.
Oh, maybe the two are linked.
The Nintendo and Jack the Ripper murders are linked because he obviously did it and then he went, "It's me."
Stab you.
Luigi did it.
And a young Ueda went like, "Oh, that could be good."
So that was really interesting. There were few female serial killers in it because women don't serial killer as much. It had some stats showing that the female...
Stats?
It did have some
Some
interesting
top trumps.
Female serial killers have declined over
Knife
the years.
skills.
They're more likely to kill if they're part of a couple because there's always one prominent killer in a serial killer couple. There was a woman in the early 1900s in Italy who was a cannibal and she would cook and eat her victims, and then she got put in prison and she got into baking and she baked cookies for her inmates. None of them ate them.
To be fair, an Italian cannibal, I would
bet it's still good.
I would look at it and go like, but it's probably still really good food. It's like there's a French cannibal, I'd be like, it probably is quite good still.
That's where probably the most interesting part, because they also had the most serial killers actually come from America because of its size and because of the remote locations of, the towns.
How easy it is to get hold of a gun.
Guns featured quite heavily. Yep.
Who'd have thought? What other like artifacts did they have from various serial killers?
Do you know, mostly they were letters and things written by them.
Fan letters. Obviously, like Bundy had a lot of people write in.
No, but they had a letter from Bundy, and Bundy. And one of the facts about Bundy.
That's when he's on holiday. Ted Bundy's gone away. Ted Bundy comes out.
It's Ted Bundy on holiday.
There were quite a few things about him that I didn't appreciate before. Because he was really smart, he helped solve a serial killer crime whilst in prison. They came to him and said, this is what's happening, and he identified the profile and helped them catch the killer.
Oh, wow, he's completely redeemed then. It's Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy!
You must be the most devious bastard, Ted Bundy, in New York City.
I say, chaps, stop stabbing and raping all those bloody women.
As a museum, what was the age range and majority gender of people that were visiting there? Because I don't want to stereotype, but I feel there was a lot more females that are fascinated with serial killers than there are males.
There was, but what I would say about this exhibition was it was a lot bigger than I expected, but also a lot more graphic and gory than I expected. And I know
Sounds like my sex life.
I know that's going to sound funny. But usually in these sort of things, you'll just see the facts and you might see like a cutaway thing. They went all out to points where I actually felt physically sick by the end of it.
They should have had like an interactive part as well, like just some hay barrels and you could have like a knife and you go...
They did have an interactive part, but which was taking a psychopath test, which my sister took. And let's just say I'm concerned.
She won't be joining us for Christmas dinner.
Right after this museum, bear in mind I now feel physically sick after some of the images I've seen, which is just horrific.
You went to prep.
We then went for lunch at a market hall place, and I went on. I genuinely don't know if I can eat anything. I feel like really sick. And my sister just turned to me and went, "Stacey, you lily-livered weakling." I was like, "Oh my god!"
Gosh, I wish I would say that.
So, anyway, that's what I've been up to. We'll move on from murderers. Keep it light, guys. Keep it light.
Okay, so what have I been up to in the last week? Well, I've been on a bit of a binge, to be honest with you, gaming-wise. Not all good, but I've completed Squirrel with a Gun, which obviously I mentioned.
What is the final boss of Squirrel with a Gun?
It's a government agent called Mother. So you have to defeat Father first, and then you defeat Mother. And it's fucking incredibly terrible. And I couldn't recommend it enough. I would probably say to people, wait till it's a £5. It's well
wait
worth
for it for the sale.
How much did you pay for this?
I immediately paid £12 for it. I saw it and I must have it. Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was over the top. The gun work is surprisingly accurate, and it's just dumb fun.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah. Then after I did that, I downloaded the game Ender Lilies. It was free last month.
Oh yeah.
So I downloaded it and I thought I'll play that at some point. It's a Metroidvania.
Oh okay.
It's good. It's good. It's not It's not as polished as some of the other Metroidvanias I've played, but for free.
Yeah.
Can't complain. It's also not holding your hand. There's no waypoint system. It's just if you unlock a new skill, it's like I hope you remember where to use that, because there is no you should go here. It's just crack on. And if you can get on with that sort of game and you've got the patience to kind of search out areas, I'd recommend it. The combat's decent. The it's a very pretty game.
Yeah.
Music's nice. It's all like hand-drawn artwork.
Yeah.
Playing-wise, that's it really. But then I've been on a bit of a weeb moment as well. I'm watching Vinland Saga. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have. I've seen the trailer.
Vikings.
Yeah, I've seen the trailer for that, but I've never actually watched it.
I've never seen anything about it.
It's from Studio Weiss, which do Attack on Titan. So the animation is top tier.
Okay.
It's very good. The fighting's very good. Very solid.
Is the story as good as Attack on Titan?
Do you know what? It's amazing.
Oh,
really?
okay.
Yeah, it's really good.
God, you'd have a real height to hit if you're that studio and you just did Attack on Titan. You'd have to like knock it out of the park as well again.
Well, so like I said, I'm reading it as well, and so the anime does not stray. too far from the manga.
Right, okay.
The manga's been brilliant. It's very good. It's all about Vikings invading England and taking over Wales and all that stuff. And it's all about your main character. He's at the time where it starts, he's 6, 7, something like that. He's quite young. His dad has fled from war. He's an ex-war hero, presumed dead. He gets found, and they're like, right, you need to come back. You've fled your country. You're a traitor. You're a traitor. Basically, they've set him up to die.
Okay.
He dies in front of his son's eyes. The son's like, I will avenge him. It then becomes a revenge plot, and you're kind of thinking, this is how the story's going to go. That gets resolved fairly early.
Okay.
And then it takes a time skip to when he's an adult and he's a slave. And so he's gone from living life how he wants as a Viking who kind of purges and takes what he wants and whatever, to now he is just a slave on a farm and he can't say anything out of line because he'll get whipped. He's a broken man.
Yeah.
And now I'm at the point where he's trying to like have his redemption arc. And it's very good. I'd have to say, I'm considering not watching any more of it and watching it with you.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. I look forward to that. Big question for you though. How's the soundtrack?
The soundtrack's very good. It's not as good as Attack on Titan.
Okay.
What is?
Yeah, true. Okay. Oh, nice. I'd like to watch that as well. I'd always think.
It's on Netflix. Other than that, I started watching Dan to Dan. Is also a Netflix adaptation. It's an old manga.
Right.
Which is only recently getting some love. I stupidly watched all of it being like, yeah, it's all on Netflix. And I watched up to episode 10 thinking, no, it's only 10 episodes. No, it's weekly. So now I'm behind. I have to wait every week. I hate it, especially when it's like 25-minute episodes.
Really?
But that's really good.
Okay.
It was really good fun. It's a bit perverted. It's a bit too...
Anime?
It's very...
Cool.
It knows exactly what it is.
That's fair.
He gets his dick stolen by aliens.
I bet we've all been there.
Well, no, they want to take his dick, and then it gets possessed.
I feel like I need to watch
It's
this.
ridiculous.
I really feel like this is why anime doesn't break into the mainstream as much. It's because you just say plots like this.
Is it a comedy?
Yeah.
It's a serious, introspective drama.
And at the moment, they're looking for his testicles.
I need to watch this.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all been there. I feel like this is what happened to Ben when he went to the hospital. I was like, sorry, my dick's been possessed.
And I can't find my testicles.
And you went, oh, Dan and Dan. And like, yes! Exactly a Dan and Dan situation.
And then really, I took a little trip to Devon because I picked up a mega bundle for my business. So you little gaming nerds, I picked up a full Mega Drive set, which is about 540 games.
I thought you went down to pick up. I thought your Mega Bundle was that like large shipment of cocaine you had brought into Devon as well.
Shh.
Oh, fair enough. Was it Exeter?
Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was good crack. Old collector, lovely guy. I bought a load of SNES stuff off of him, some Master System, some Mega Drive. Nothing more really to add about that. Apart from it's on my page, 184-bit gaming. Go check it out.
Anything like particularly like eyes widening in the bundle, or nothing you didn't expect?
Well, the thing is, with the Mega Drive set, there's the Death and Return of Superman.
Ooh.
Retails at about $1,500.
It's a really good collection, isn't it, that you've got? Like, it's really good quality.
The guy looked after it. He put every single game in a protective sleeve.
Oh, wow.
The guy would keep his curtains closed so there wouldn't be any sun damage. All of his cardboard games are in protective cases. All of his manuals are in sandwich bags, so to protect them.
So it would literally just be like
pristine.
opening them from new. Wow.
Yeah. He described it to me when he opened it. He went, "Open that, smell it, and tell me it doesn't smell like Woolworths." And I was like,
"What does
this
Woolworths
is
smell
how
like?"
serial killers talk.
And after regaining consciousness, you.
Woolworths, for any of our young listeners, is an old British institution which no longer exists.
Apart from in Australia.
I feel like it's time for Harry's Rant of the Week. Harry's Rant of the Week.
Oh, I fucking hated a fucking scoring bloody... And that's the rant. That's the rant intro music.
So, obviously, selling games, I sell a lot of crap on eBay. I mean, highly valuable items. Now, people are more than welcome to message me going, oh, would you take X amount rather than this? Because I can't afford it, or just ask. It doesn't matter. All I can say is yes or no.
Yeah.
Now, there is a certain way of conducting that, in my opinion. So he initially just goes, it's a £70 game.
Yeah.
I've got on there. And he's gone, 50 quid. Just literally not even, would you take 50 quid? Just 50 quid, question mark. So I thought, nah, I'll leave it. I'll wait for him to ask properly, like a human being. He then messages back going like, "Hi, would you take £50? I am a game collector. Give me a sob story. I've got a man cave and I don't have that much money," which sounds like a him problem, to be fair. You know, I don't care. Get more money then.
Just do what I do, be incredibly wealthy.
You idiot. So I've then just messaged going, "Sorry mate, I'm happy with 70, it's not a problem." Then he sends 4 screenshots of my game to me. I know what my game looks like. I took the pictures. Right?
Okay.
He then puts them 4 pictures in, and then with a long ass message going, "I found this for £40 and he's accepting offers and he offers free postage and it's 10 times better than yours. I don't know how you can justify nobody's going to be able to afford £70. Rah."
I was right.
He's going off on one like an attack on me.
Yeah.
So I thought, fuck this. So I've messaged him back and "I'll tell you what, mate. Why don't you fucking buy that one then? And while you're at it, why don't you sit in your fucking lonely little cave troll and fap yourself off to it?" Turns out eBay won't let you send that message.
Right, okay. Might be something against the terms of service there. Bloody woke eBay. Will not let me send horrible messages through the internet.
Did they replace your swearing with like
No, they vetoed me. They vetoed me. They cancelled me. Edit my message and was just like, "Why don't you buy that one then? Stop wasting your time messaging me."
you blank?
So the actual conversation that eBay allowed me to say was, "Well, how about this? Go and buy it. Stop messaging me. The pictures you sent are my game. Do you ever expect to actually buy the item when you're this rude to people? I would have accepted 60, but you're so rude that even if you purchased it at full price, I would cancel the transaction."
And let's just remind our listeners that 184-bit gaming has incredible customer service.
It doesn't end there, my friend. I then went onto his account. He was selling a bad condition Street Fighter 2 game that had Sunfade on it for 12 quid. So because I'm a very petty human being.
Did you buy it?
No. I then went and found other Street Fighter games that were cheaper, screenshotted them, and sent them all to him. Going, all 3 of these are nicer and sold for the same or less. What a rip-off.
Oh my god.
Sun-faded game trash.
And?
He hasn't messaged back. I assume he just bludgeoned himself with a SNES cartridge.
What, the sun-damaged one, which I can find easier and cheaper.
How much time did you invest into this trolling?
More than I'm willing to admit.
Okay, well,
Look,
I admire
you have
it.
to go scorched earth.
I admire it.
Like, no, I do.
He attacked me first.
No, yeah, he fired the first shot. You just responded with a nuke. Some people might call it overkill.
I'll say this. I hold my business with a lot of integrity, and I get irritated when people question that integrity because I spend a lot of time researching prices and I do a lot of time making sure people have a good deal. And when I get questioned on it, it's like a personal attack, and I don't like it.
No, I get that.
And I'm behind a keyboard, so I can get away with saying stuff like that because they won't punch my face.
That's fair enough.
And now we've aired it to the world.
We have broken into so many self-storage units trying to find people's stuff, okay?
Well, I
And
tell
as
you
long
what,
as it's not Sunfade.
Power H-24, come at me.
Wow. Okay.
Then there's a knock at the door, it's like, Ben Affleck?
No, Power H-24.
Okay, well, we're going to try and harmonise this theme tune here. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Harry's Rant of the Week. Okay, well, on that lovely note, let's get on with the review.
On the review.
On with the review. Alright then, this week we're reviewing the Blue Blur's latest cinema entry, Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Ben's a super fan.
Yes!
That was such a Big the Cat noise to make.
When Ben runs to me from the car, he's like, Harry!
Thought we weren't going to do that. Thought
That's between us.
Thought we weren't going to do that bit.
A brief synopsis to get everyone on the same page. Sonic, Tails and Knuckles reunite against a powerful new adversary, Shadow the Hedgehog, a mysterious villain with powers unlike anything they have faced before. With their abilities outmatched in every way, Team Sonic must seek out an unlikely alliance in hopes of stopping Shadow and protecting the planet. At time of recording, it is sitting pretty with a 7.6 score on IMDb, which I might add, is fucking insane. I'm sure it will drop off when the mega fans have stopped going and
probably.
the norms go.
Yeah.
The film stars include Jim Carrey, Ben Schwartz, Idris Elba, Keanu Reeves, Colleen O'Shaughnessy, and it's directed by Jeff Fowler once more.
Who did the other two as well, didn't he?
He did the other two, and he worked on Sonic previously, which I'll come back to later. The film cost...
Nice, okay.
Sorry, a speedboat's just gone past the recording studio. 130 mil, I'm going to say.
Oh, okay. It had a lot of CGI in it, and obviously you have to pay megabucks for Sega copyright, I'm sure. So I'm going to go for 160 mil.
133 mil.
Oh!
Which is about the same as the other two. So, yeah, the film cost 133 million to make, and after one weekend, it has grossed 63 million back already, pushing Mufasa to his second cinematic death so far.
Nice!
Mufasa, got him.
He's been on the typewriter all day writing this.
I've done no selling.
He has done so many drafts, the paper is littering the office space.
Anyway, was this film a sonic boom, or was it subsonic?
Oh!
Anyway, so Stacey, how did you feel? So obviously, I'm a mega fan. You have adopted that in your life now.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was on par with the others. I felt that the human to Sonic character ratio was...
Oh, the HSR.
yeah.
Human to Sonic ratio.
Let me draw you a diagram. Was about right, because I found in the previous films, especially in the last one, Donut Lord and his missus, I don't even know their names, Tom and Maddie. Maddie, thank you. They were just really, really annoying. Mm-hmm. I like that the human element was more centred around Jim Carrey and his assistant, because they're really funny. So I really liked that. I really loved Keanu Reeves' Shadow.
Yeah.
He was just perfect for it. And I didn't actually know much about Shadow's backstory before, so I really appreciated it.
Yeah, this is pretty faithful to his origin story.
Accurate to the Sonic Adventure 2 story, yeah. If you go deep into his actual origins, it goes a bit convoluted.
Yeah.
As you'd expect.
I like the fact that it was filmed in London as well. Shout out.
Yeah,
A small part of it.
Yeah, even though they superimpose a massive building where there isn't one. It wasn't as funny as the second one.
Completely and utterly disagree.
Ooh, okay. This is where we're going to start getting conflict.
But because I just love the huge setup to the joke in the second one with the
worst
wedding.
part of the film. Anyway, that's the second film. But don't get me started.
It is hysterical.
Too early for rant.
But it was funny. It just wasn't as funny because of that joke. I wish they would have focused on Shadow a little bit more so. I think they could have made it more of a focus. And I appreciate that this is a kid's film. But
No, it's not.
I wish that they'd made Shadow's story a little bit grittier. Just a little bit grittier.
So seeing his best friend killed by the military wasn't enough?
No, but...
You applauded during that bit. That was really weird.
No, I think it was more his arc at the end. No, so overall, yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was true to the two that have come before. I'm nervous about the fourth one, and we'll leave it there. Ben,
I really enjoyed it. I think out of the two of them, in the last few years...
Out of the two?
Out of the two... Let me finish. So out of the two franchises, we've had oh my god, woman.
Just in case you were having trouble.
I just like the fishing, all right? I just like going fishing. So I think Super Mario came out, grossed over $1 billion, did well financially, not, but it is a very, very basic film. I understand it's meant to be for, kids. I get that. And Sonic comes out, and I think each one of them has just been consistently really good. Generally, it's been
I would say they've upped it per film.
Yeah, I think they've introduced the right characters at the right time. I think this one in particular, I quite like Shadow. The story is exactly what it needs to be. I think it knows who its audience is. It's full of references, like cramped to the brim with them.
I think as the films have gone on, the first film was definitely aimed more at kids. And don't get me wrong, these are kids' films. But I think after the first one was a success, and they realised a lot of the fans had grown up and they were like mid-30s taking their kids.
Yeah.
I think they were like, right, but there's an angle here that we need to appreciate, that we need to make a bit adult humour.
Yeah.
Appease those fans.
It's very based around, its roots and its origins. Like, it's in the trailer, but the first major fight is in Tokyo. They hide out in Tokyo. It's a lot of... It's more going towards that side of it and sort of recognising what it is. Again, you have to turn your brain off in this, and I think that's... You can't go in there expecting this to be like Citizen Kane or something like that. This isn't going to win any, This isn't going to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. No. I wish it would. Can you imagine?
The upset.
Oh my god, I would love it so much.
Edging out Nosferatu.
Oh, I'm so conflicted.
Sonic 3.
To be fair, Robert Eggers would also be like, it is Sonic 3 though. Again, my downside, I don't think it's my favourite. I still think 2 is my favourite, but that is more, I think that's more because Knuckles is my favourite character, and it's all sort of based around those two having a punch up, whereas Shadow, I think, especially until now, has always taken a bit of a backseat in the Sonic world for quite a long time, and now it's...
But he's the edgy sort of brother teenager.
He's definitely...
He doesn't want to be associated with Sonic.
No, I think he's definitely a product of his time as well, like when he was introduced and when he came out. I think it's...
Well, he even calls him Hot Topic, doesn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
What did you think of it? We're all dying to hear.
Hated it. Absolutely hated it. He walked out halfway through.
Apart from the tears, I don't know if they were angry tears or happy tears.
He shouted, and I quote, "I'm Bubsy till I die." And then he punched, an 8-year-old on the way out, because let's face it, the cinema was full of them, and he stormed out.
It wasn't though.
It really wasn't.
It was full of adults.
All right, actually,
about 3 kids.
Behind the scenes of this, it was mostly people our age going to go see this film.
So yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Obviously, I'd done a lot of looking into it before. I'd watched the trailers, and being the freak that I am, I knew a lot, and I've played the games a lot, so I knew a lot of the story beats were going to go this way, and I didn't need the story to be spoilt for me for the story to be spoiled. I knew where it was going to go.
Yeah, because you can pick up on...
Yeah, any fan that's played Sonic Adventure 2 will know where this is going.
Yeah.
And that's fine, because it's a good story, and it's a good one to pick. How you execute it is then how it's important. And I think they ticked the right boxes. I think they nailed Robotnik, both of them. Him doing dual role was brilliant. I think him being both of them worked amazing. It turns out the perfect partner for Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey.
It's another Jim Carrey.
It's just a mirror. So you should have known. I thought it was brilliant. I thought they bounced off each other brilliantly. And Shadow was the other one they had to get right. And I think they nailed it. And I think that's what makes him interesting, is that at no point do they ever really have the edge.
He never loses a fight.
No.
I was going to ask you this, because obviously they have the chase in Tokyo. Is he faster?
They're like the same speed.
Okay, because I was noticing in it that he's always slightly ahead of him. And Fred Masters, he is on a motorbike, but...
Which he powers with his feet.
Why does he need the motorbike?
Yeah.
Because fans like it, that's why.
He likes to sit down every now and then.
Who doesn't?
But no, I think it's paced better. I think the opening act goes in, hits hard, shows you what to expect. Mm-hmm. But I'd say a little bit convoluted in the middle with the human characters, where it felt very much like, we've got to give them something to do.
Yeah.
Because they could have been cut. Realistically, they could have been cut from that whole scene.
Yeah.
They were integral in the first one.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of keep them on board. They're part of his family. They're part of the lore of the film universe. And I get it. They've kind of put themselves in a corner, which they could get out of, because he has the rings that can teleport. And there's nothing stopping him being like, just... Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Just open a ring into space and...
Sonic gets rabies.
There's no bodies.
No.
Go away with it.
I get it, but I don't think that they needed the side characters to be in it. Like, they didn't need the sister, as much as I love that joke. They didn't need her husband.
I love that joke.
They didn't even need the other guy that I can't remember his name, but the one on the roof. I'm not going to say with what.
Oh, Knuckles' protege.
Yeah, they didn't.
Wayne.
They didn't need any of them to be in it at all. I get that you'd have. I get you'd have Tom and Maddie, as apparently their names are, in it a bit, but the rest you didn't need. You could cut them out.
Yeah.
There was some pretty hard-hitting talent in this. Like Kristen Ritter is in this, so I'm like to think this is the sequel to Jessica Jones. If you think in it, this is Jessica Jones, it's a really funny story of how her life's gone.
She is fantastic in it, actually. I thought she was great.
She's good. She just doesn't really have anything to do.
Needs more.
She genuinely in the film vanishes.
Yeah,
She serves her purpose.
Yeah, she just generally just walks off frame and then you don't see her again.
Yeah, I said to Harry afterwards that I wish she'd had a bit more dedicated to her character, because there was a bit where I was kind of like, oh, she's swapping sides.
Could have been
and
cut.
Stuff. Yeah.
Could have been cut. Could have been filmed. You just don't know.
Yeah. But
I do
she's
agree.
just great as an actress, I think. So
I would say the writing in this is still good though.
It's so fucking funny.
It's progressed massively from the first film.
Yeah, agreed.
And the plot has gone forward. It's pushed forward. You've seen the team grow as well. I like that. The fact that Sonic, Tails, Knuckles are now like a little group.
Yeah, it's Team Sonic.
Little brothers. Yeah. They fall out. They're besties.
They're all three of them as well voiced incredibly well. Like Ben Schwartz is like killing it.
Going forward, Sega need to splash the cash, and they need to make him the voice.
yeah,
And they need to make
voice.
Shadow needs to be Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
I can take or leave Idris Elba. I really like it. But there's other good voice actors out there for him.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but when you were playing the new Shadow game, didn't they have a special
level
that he voiced? So was there anything that you didn't quite like or didn't work for you?
So I think the only thing I would go into would have to be in spoiler territory.
Okay.
So spoiler free, I loved it. I genuinely thought it was the best one, and by quite some distance. So I think we should, before we go into spoilers, give it the approval. Obviously, I'm going to approve it.
Obviously. I would approve it as well. It's good fun.
Yeah, approved.
Okay, so that's
Full approval. Full man approval.
Very good.
Yeah.
So spoiler alert, Liv and Learn's in it.
It's so good.
My God.
Oh, I remember they do it and they both like...
Yeah, they fly off. Oh my God. And it's a good remix.
I wanted more of it as well.
I know.
If I was going to have I wanted the whole song.
Yeah.
Like, I'm that sort of person who's like, give me the whole song, you cowards. Also, spoiler alert, no Big the Cat yet. Sega, take a hard, long look at yourself. Paramount, get on it.
I did say to Harry again after we watched it that for me the song length didn't quite tie up, not just for that song but for all of them. They didn't I don't think they played with the music well enough, because some were cut really short, like Live and Learn, because I thought, oh my God, this is about to go off like Guardians of the Star, it's going to be amazing.
I had my top off.
And it didn't. Whereas they focused on some really shit songs.
Which one?
The dance
scene.
That's a good song. It's poorly implemented.
When they come into London as well, there's some song I've never heard of.
Oh, Gigs.
Okay, great. Well, I'm just old, but
I put mixed bag with the music, because some of it is awesome and some of it's a recall to previous games.
Yeah.
I do just wish it had been longer.
Yeah.
I do wish because the Supersonic / Super Shadow fight is in 3 segments, isn't it? So
yeah.
They fight each other, and then they transform again and they fight against the fleet, and then the third one is when they fight against the fleet / stop the ship.
Yeah.
And it plays on the end too. And I loved it. I did love it, but I wish they had kind of made it a bit longer. Maybe cut the dance scene for like a minute, and then put a minute more of that.
That dance scene is about 3 to 4 minutes long. It's a sizable chunk of the film.
It is very long. And I think it was 50-50. He obviously didn't do some bits, but I think he did the majority.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a thing. It's not a spoiler, but
we're in spoilers.
I know.
Do you want?
But is it?
Do you want?
Brilliant.
Spoiler.
I have. Like the CGI on this, even just the really small things in it, like the fact, like Shadow, when you first see him properly,
his fur's wet,
and it sticks together, it clumps together, and also like to put 2 actors who are played by the same, the same character played,
which
by the
they
same
address
actor,
in the film.
Great joke.
Yeah.
It's
almost like it's the same actor playing 2 roles, like in the movies.
You need more jokes like this. He's also I always forget his name. What's the older Doctor?
Gerald.
No, it's Gerald. Gerald's got the best joke in this. We know which one it is.
The quite sexist joke, which I cannot believe made it into a PG Sonic film. When they get to the room, which they don't know what's in the room. It's a mystery room, and it's a gravity room.
Yeah.
If you stand on a green panel, you float. If you stand on a red panel, you get sucked to the ground. Like you are stuck. And then as they're stuck, they're like, "Oh God, this is embarrassing." And then what's her face comes in.
Yeah, I can't remember her name.
Jess Jones.
Jess Jones walks
Jessica
in.
Jones.
She walks in straight out of New York, and she's like, "Ma, I've beaten you, I've bested you, and this is what
God,
you
that
wanted."
is such a good impression.
Wow, it's like she's here in the room with us.
Yeah, see.
I don't know, Jessica Jones was a noir detective from the 40s.
What show are you watching? You idiot. And literally, Robotnik goes, "No, I don't believe it." And then his granddad's like, "I know, a woman
in the
military." So I was like, fucking hell.
I may have laughed a bit too loudly at the cinema.
It was a very good joke.
Very funny joke. But obviously it's a very just classic split screen technique to put two actors in. And you just literally have one of them acting to a stand-in and do the same. But it's when they actually start to...
Oh, they interact.
Yeah, that's when it got really hang on. Because there's bits...
The sex scene was fucking good. How did they do that?
I know. And it was to live and learn again.
For a second then, I was like, what did I miss?
Blackouts.
Yeah.
Give me your eggs, man.
Oh, God.
He says that in the fucking film as well. He's like, "You crumb my egg sandwich." I was like, "Oh my God, you dirty boy."
I'm not done trauma dumping.
That was good.
There's loads of good jokes. This film is better with its jokes.
It is, but it is 90% Jim Carrey carrying the comedy in this. Because
Jim Carrey's physical comedy is, again, unparred in this film, isn't it? Like, when he's sliding on the floor... When I was wetting myself laughing, and
because I would say Sonic, as he has always been, Sonic is very quippy.
Yeah, he's Mr. Quip.
Yeah, and there was bits in there I was like, your dialogue could have maybe used a little polish there because it's like he's saying things but they're going on too long, and it's like quips.
It's like the Lego Movie. It's like, I'm just going to keep saying jokes.
I agree with that, but I think one of the reasons why this film wasn't as good as the others from me was because Sonic wasn't funny really in it.
Okay.
I didn't find him as funny.
But then if I think about Sonic 2, I still think Jim Carrey is the funniest thing in Sonic 2.
100%.
He's always the funniest one, but Sonic wasn't as funny as he has been previously.
No, Sonic 1, he's got a very good joke.
He was more annoying. I actually thought it was a little bit annoying.
That is kind of his vibe, though.
I hear.
He is just a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
He is. He's a cocky little prick. He knows he's fast, and that's why he's so cocky.
Exactly. He's got a whole catchphrase around it, apparently. Got to get there quick.
But we have to say, Jim Carrey is not confirmed for the new film, is he? So, how are we feeling?
Well, I think probably he won't be coming back for 4. I don't think he would be.
Well, I think they always try and kill him off just in case he doesn't come back.
Well, that's if they do decide, if he does say, "Look, I'll come back for 4," absolutely, you can. I mean, how many times has Robotnik died in Sonic? And he's always he's just a villain that just comes back. And you're like, "Oh, I survived," and you're like, "Okay."
I had a theory that we were spitballing about this yesterday.
Go on.
And obviously, in the end credit scene, Metal Sonics appear, which took me by surprise, I've got to say. When I saw one, I was like, "Oh, okay." And then when I saw hundreds, I was like, "Oh, that's different." And Amy Rose turns up and smacks them all about, and that's all fine.
Yeah.
Now, if you wanted to keep Jim Carrey in the film but not bring back Robotnik, I would integrate him like a Jarvis. So he'd be like a hologram and a voice in Metal Sonic's head. And that's how you would do it.
I thought that was really interesting. I think that would be quite good.
Yeah, we'll get to that near the end about like where you think this might go, Harry. But like, sorry, going back on, we went off a complete tangent there. The Shadow Sonic fight.
Oh yes,
it's Dragon Ball.
It's
Dragon Ball again.
It's the best Dragon Ball Z fight we've had.
It's the best live action one we've had.
Yeah, hands down. And you can tell that they took a lot from like the Broly movie. They took a lot of inspiration and stuff like that. Like when they're punching, they'll be in New York and then it's like bang, he'll land a hit and it's like boom, they're in Cairo, bang, they're in Paris, bang, they're back in Japan. And that was insane. And then Sonic he's getting bested quite easily, isn't he? And then the best bit is when Shadow's like, "What about your human, what's his name? Tom."
I was like, you knew his name. You knew exactly what his name was.
I know that.
You prick.
I know I'm the really naive one of this podcast, but when he punched Tom, I genuinely thought he died.
He probably should have.
It's all internal bleeding.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, he's literally hemorrhaging as we speak.
Yeah.
It's like, Sonic, you need to get him to an ambulance pretty fucking quick. Although it is set in London, so with the NHS wait times,
he'd definitely be dead.
Probably wouldn't have made it.
100%. I also, to go back on another tangent. I even though I'm not the biggest Sonic game fan, so I don't know all the references and stuff, there's one particular reference that I absolutely loved. It was the little, what are they called?
Chows.
The little chow
they go
garden.
to the Japanese chow garden because it could
Loved
just
it.
be
Yeah.
a restaurant in Japan.
Yeah. And again, they do the Nintendo reference.
Yeah.
How they got that?
Someone got
I
shot.
don't. Yes, two people have been executed already.
I was surprised to hear that.
Shigeru Miyamoto's not been spotted since that film came out. He's on the run.
Neither has Ben Schwartz.
Yeah.
He didn't even say the line.
I've gone off on a pure tangent then, but I was just thinking about it.
But even but actually going off that, his assistant gets its own character arc as well.
We love his
this.
assistant.
Yeah, Agent Stone.
You said you wanted more of him.
Yeah, I
actually.
have more.
I just love how in every film he's casts him out. He's really horrible to him, and then he's like, "All right,
but you're
I'm
all
sorry. I'm sorry about that."
You're adequate.
I think loving the outfits as well at the end.
Yeah,
He gets the full
robotic outfit.
The full robotic outfit. No interpretation of it. No modern style.
It just is.
Stylistic. I was like, that is just 100% from the games. Perfect.
To bring it back to Shadow, though, because now I'm going on a loop here.
You're thinking of this.
Oh, Luke.
Sorry.
For me, the Shadow story could have dedicated a little bit more time to it, particularly the arc where he turns around and he decides to side with Sonic at the end. I think they did a good job of going into his history and his backstory, and with the girl that he was besties with, and
Maria,
and she died, and that was fine, but it just happened so quickly at the end. There was a quick flash and he suddenly, boom, changed his mind, whereas I just think they could have maybe built that up a little bit more.
The film got criticised for that in general. I didn't have a problem with it. Because the flashbacks show you that just because he is a bad guy does not mean he is a bad guy. You know?
What's that from?
Wreck-It Ralph.
It's Wreck-It Ralph.
He's a good guy who's just had some shit go wrong.
But that's why I think you just needed a little bit more on that. But then
but he's on the floor and Sonic's over him, about to bludgeon him, and he's like, "Do it, fucking do it, you pussy!" It's like,
yeah, I don't know. That was a weird bit of the film for them to start using that. Can't believe he's like, "You fucking pussy, you gonna fucking do it, you fucking won't."
Yeah, you whip, get your little yellow locks.
I'd fucking kill Tom again. I'd do it again.
Where is he? Get him on the phone.
Where's his wife? I'll have his wife.
Also, I wonder whether there's going to be any ramifications for them sort of slicing through the moon.
Which was Knuckles and Tails' fault.
I did.
Look what you
But I did love when Jim Carrey was like, "Oh."
It's all three of them just go like, yeah, oh.
Tell you what I wouldn't cut. Juan.
Juan was brilliant.
Yeah.
I want
The
that.
Spanish TV show.
Oh, yeah, that was,
More of that.
that was random.
More of that.
I did like the end credit song.
Oh, yeah.
It's by an artist called Jelly Roll, which is quite good.
Yeah. I would say this. Bring on number 4. Before I go into trivia.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
I look forward to it.
Bring on number 4. Oh, yeah. So where's the story going to go from here?
So
Where do you think it would go? Because obviously now we've had... Right, it's normally one Metal Sonic, which I was the same way. I was like, okay, we can do that. And then obviously 100 of them turn up.
yeah.
So where do you think this will go? What's the next villain?
Going into the story of the games, Amy should be like a little damsel in distress, but they're not going down this route because she comes down and saves Sonic. And I so woke.
I'm rolling my eyes for all of the listeners.
You can hear it.
I was surprised that they introduced 2 new ones, being Metal Sonic and Amy, but I don't know anything
Metal Sonic's
about
just a
Metal
villain
Sonic.
though. He's
Right.
just a villain. There's no redemption arc for him. He doesn't turn good. He's just bad.
I was programmed to love.
It's just a giant Tamagotchi gone wrong. I think it's going to go down that route of... It's going to have to go off-world. It's going to have to, because that's where they originate from. Who's made it?
Do you mean because they've blown up the moon and now Earth is going through some sort of catastrophic end of the
Yeah, probably. It's not going to help, is it?
end of the world situation?
Again, Knuckles and Tails. Bad shot.
Have you seen the Disaster movie? Because I think that's what's about to happen.
So could it be that they're from the future?
I don't think future...
Something got sent, like Metal Sonic got sent back to stop something.
Well, initially it looked a little bit like a Terminator scene.
That's what I was thinking.
You know, when he warps and he's the ball of energies around him. No, I just think they're from off-world. I do.
Okay.
Like Knuckles he was off-world. Because they've run out of rings as well at this point.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Ben's opinion on this because Harry's like, well,
Tails will just make more
plot and film and stuff. But they've run out of rings and he only gets the rings from, what's her name, the owl.
The most convenient.
Longclaw.
The rings are the most convenient plot point thing ever.
Yeah, you need to keep them.
So Longclaw makes the rings.
I don't know who makes the rings. I just know that she has.
Oh, she had the rings.
Yeah,
but then
Knuckles had rings as well. I just genuinely think it's going to be plot because the plot needs to happen.
Yeah, we are overthinking this.
Yeah.
Tails will make something.
Fine.
Tails can literally hack into anything. He's like, he would be on.
He's the equivalent of Robotnik.
Doesn't seem like it, does it?
He's only like 5.
Tails is one bad day away from like hacking the Pentagon. He's one bad day away.
Okay, so I got a bit of trivia. There's not that much, obviously, because it came out 2 days ago.
Of course.
So one of the things that I thought was quite fun, you know the scene where Agent Stone shaves Jim Carrey's hair?
Yep.
Jim Carrey grew his hair for 1.5 years for that scene.
I thought that might be real.
And they did it. So they had one take to get it right.
Oh my god.
And they did it.
How long between the last film and this film?
Would have been about that.
1.5 years.
That's dedication, isn't it?
Yeah.
I thought that was quite cool. One thing I mentioned earlier was that Jeff Fowler had worked in the Sonic series before. So he actually worked as part of the VFX artist team that did Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
So he already had history with the franchise. They printed the script on 24 karat gold and delivered it to Jim Carrey's house.
No.
What?
Because he said he wouldn't come back for a film unless the script was gold.
Oh my god!
So they literally
didn't.
printed it on 24 karat gold.
I'm going to be really honest with you, that is a waste of gold.
Yeah.
You saw the film?
Also, can I get that script?
So that was it really for trivia. But I thought instead of trivia, I would just go over a few little nods. That I picked up on as a fan.
This is going to be
the little people
rapid fire references.
Yes. So, monster in the film that Maria and Shadow watch, the Godzilla type film.
Yep.
That's the Bio Lizard. That's the end boss in Sonic Adventure 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to state that whilst we were watching this film, Harry was whispering all these in my ear. So
oh, were you?
I'm already way ahead of you.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I was sitting away from you at that point.
It was really hot.
Yeah, I know. End goalpost that he runs past at the end of the 2D games. That was in the race. He hits that and it spins round. That was cool. When he loses the race, both Tails and Knuckles are there tapping their feet, which is a nod to the games. When you're too idle, he'll sit there tapping his foot, going, I'm waiting. The scene where Team Sonic get beat by Shadow is a homage to the CGI cutscene Fowler worked on in the original game. Mm-hmm. So I've actually brought this up already. Live and Learn playing is that it plays at the same time in the film as it does in the game.
Okay.
And when they also really quite obviously cross over the screen for the poster shot.
Yeah.
That was the poster shot of Sonic Adventure 2 on the original Dreamcast.
I would really, just off that topic, I really want to see that in more films. I really want to see like a slow motion, like slow-mo thing of like people in cool poses.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We're doing a thing.
I'm just saying, Hollywood, can we keep this ball rolling? Because I really, really like that sort of stuff. I don't know why. It makes my jellies feel good.
It's not a Sonic nod, but they did a couple of Matrix nods in it. Did you spot that?
No.
Yeah, Shadow does a couple of the kung fu moves at
the first time
end
Super
fight.
Sonic attacks Super Shadow, doesn't he? He goes to land a punch, and Keanu just goes bang with one hand, which is the exact same thing he does to Smith in Matrix.
Do you know why I think they put that in there? Because
he was in the Matrix.
This is a trilogy, but it's not the greatest trilogy of all time, is it, Ben?
No, that's the Dark Knight's re-established. Fuck you.
City Escape was also referenced a lot. The first level of Sonic Adventure 2, the bit when they're in the helicopter, and they're like, "No food or movies, I'm out of here." Jumps out. That was straight from the game. The bit where Shadow's walking up the burnt tank, straight from the game. Also, Knuckles is afraid of ghosts. That's a proper deep cut.
Is it? I thought that was a joke for the film.
Nope, that's a thing.
Knuckles is afraid of ghosts.
Yeah, and there are no friendly ghosts.
So, as we've established, great cutaway though. When it's
Casper the Pokemon friendly ghost.
Great cutaway when he's just like, ah! And you could hear one of them go, "You're hurting my hand."
That was really fun.
Okay.
Eggman Land, which is a final level in Sonic Unleashed, made an appearance. Sonic Mania avatars were used.
Mm-hmm. I realised that
the
bit.
level select bit.
Very good bit.
In the end song, that you liked by Jellyfish Box Man?
Yeah, nailed it.
Fucking so trendy.
Perfect.
Sonic Fighters, the avatars were used for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's loads in this that I've not picked up on.
There's other little things where I assume there are bits in here which are also just...
Robotnik's his ringtone.
That's something I picked up on. I'm assuming the character that one of them picks up, which is in the air base,
It looked like Omega.
Yeah, it looked like Omega. So it's like, there's just... I bet you could just... Somebody on YouTube has gone through this entire film and has listed every single Easter egg and reference.
Yeah, that's Harry.
And it's
Do
Harry.
you not think this is how fan service should be done? So the difference, in my opinion, between Mario and Sonic is that Mario used the nostalgia to be like, look, it's a good film because it's got member berries. This was like, no, we're a good film, but also we have member berries. It's like, if you like looking out for the nods, they're there.
Yeah.
But it's not so distracting.
These aren't in your face.
No, I think they did a good job of it.
This franchise, like every single film in this franchise, is better than that Mario movie.
Yeah.
The Mario
agreed.
movie was good, but it wasn't great.
It's fine.
One thing that is hilarious. So Sonic 1 come out when Birds of Prey come out and it buried it at the box office.
Yeah, good.
Sonic 2 come out when Morbius come out and it buried it at the box office.
Massive shame.
And now Craven has come out alongside Sonic and it's buried it at the box office.
Are we saying?
So any superhero films that want to come across the blue blur.
Can you imagine if it came out at the same time as Endgame?
Oh my God.
Imagine we got to Sonic 5 and it was the same as like Avengers 5 and it buried it. Sonic 5 took over $1 billion.
I was talking of Marvel. We came out and I said to Harry, I think it's really funny how Sega are trying to do a Marvel at the start of the film where they put the Sega thing up.
Oh, I really like that.
And then they pan back and I was like, to loads of Sega games that no one's ever heard of. To which Harry goes...
I was like, oh yeah, well, like Valkyrie Chronicles, Jet Set Radio, Shinobi, Streets of Rage, Golden Axe.
I was like, yeah. But apart from those...
I did. The only thing that because I quite like that you can pick up little references, but they don't do the thing at the end of when it goes all to the original blue logo, and it doesn't go Sega. That's what I want. I just want it to cut the music and then a beat, and someone goes Sega.
Just some old man going, fucking got me.
Okay, so we've been Nerds Against Normality. Thanks for listening. Catch all of our latest episodes every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast from. Please follow, rate, like us on social media for more exclusive content, such as Ben eating the world's hottest chip.
This will be out now, yeah.
And if you have a question or something you want us to review, please email us at nerdsagainstnormalitypod@outlook.com. Thank you. Bye.
See you later.
Bye bye.